Have you ever found yourself so engrossed in a task that it becomes more than just a chore? That it becomes a labor of love? There's something truly magical about that feeling, isn't there? When a task, an occupation, or a hobby transcends the mundane and becomes a source of joy and fulfillment. This, my friends, is the essence of the labor of love. It's not merely about clocking time or meeting deadlines. It's about pouring your heart and soul into something, transforming the ordinary into extraordinary. It's about those moments when you lose track of time because you're so immersed, so captivated by what you're doing that everything else fades into the background. It's about the baker who rises at the crack of dawn, kneading dough with a smile on his face, or the gardener who tends to each plant with a gentle hand, cherishing each blossom as if it were a precious gem. Yes, it's about the journey that becomes as significant as the destination, a journey filled with passion, dedication, and above all, love. Let's delve into a story that exemplifies this concept. Imagine a humble woodworker, a man of simple means, yet extraordinary ambition. His name was Jacob, a craftsman of the old world, who lived in a small town filled with towering trees and endless inspiration. His hands were rough, worn by countless hours spent perfecting his craft, but they held a skill that was pure artistry. Jacob's journey was not an easy one. It was a path lined with trials and tribulations, a path that tested his resolve, his passion, and his love for his craft. He faced countless setbacks, from economic hardships to personal losses. But the heart of the story lies not in his struggles, but in his unwavering determination, and the passion that fueled every swing of his mallet, every stroke of his chisel. You see, Jacob didn't just see pieces of wood. He saw a canvas, a blank slate waiting to be transformed into something beautiful, something meaningful. Every carving, every piece of furniture that he crafted told a story, his story. The story of a man who poured his heart and soul into his work, who found joy and fulfillment in shaping raw, unformed wood into intricate masterpieces. His workshop was his sanctuary, a place where he could lose himself in his work, where he could express his deepest thoughts and emotions through his craft. The smell of fresh wood, the sound of his tools against the grain, the satisfaction of seeing a finished piece, these were the things that made his heart beat faster, that made his eyes sparkle with life. Jacob's passion for his craft was so profound, so consuming, that it became inseparable from his identity. He wasn't just a woodworker, he was an artist, a storyteller, a man whose love for his work transcended the boundaries of his craft. His hands were marked with scars, but his heart was filled with satisfaction. His work was not a mere job, it was his labor of love. There's much to learn from the woodworker's story. Delving into this narrative, we find a person whose passion for woodworking was so profound, it transformed the very essence of his work. It became more than a job. It was his labor of love. Every splinter, every cut, every bead of sweat shed in the process was not a burden, but a testament to his devotion. It was his passion that drove him, and his love for the craft that kept him going. The woodworker didn't just create furniture, he breathed life into blocks of wood, carving out stories with his skilled hands. His work was a symphony of craftsmanship, each piece a melody composed with love. His passion was so contagious that it filled his workshop with an almost magical energy. And it was this energy that transformed every piece of wood he touched into a masterpiece. But the journey wasn't always smooth. There were times when he faced challenges, when the wood wouldn't cooperate, when his tools would fail him. But he didn't let these setbacks deter him. Instead, he saw them as opportunities to learn, to grow, to become better. His perseverance was as strong as the wood he worked with. And it was this perseverance that shaped his path, that led him to his destination. What makes the woodworker's story so compelling isn't just his passion or his dedication, it's the transformation his labor underwent because of these. His work wasn't just a means to an end, it wasn't just about crafting furniture. It was about crafting stories, about pouring his heart and soul into every piece he created. It was about transforming a simple act of labor into a labor of love. And that's the beauty of it. The woodworker's tale isn't just a story about woodworking, it's a story about passion, about dedication, about perseverance. It's a story about love. The woodworker's tale is a testament to the transformative power of love in labor. But this concept isn't limited to woodworking or any specific profession. Ponder a moment on those words, labor of love. It's not confined to a single domain or a particular craft. It's a universal principle, a way of life, touching every corner of human endeavor. Let's take the field of education as an example. Imagine a teacher, long after the school bell is rung, dedicating extra hours to help a struggling student. She's not obliged to, it's not part of her job description, but she does it anyway. Why? Because she cares, because she wants to see her students succeed. This is her labor of love. Her passion and dedication transcend the confines of her job, transforming it into a mission, a cause worth fighting for. Now let's switch scenes and step into the world of culinary arts. Picture a chef, toiling away in the kitchen, perfecting a recipe. He's not satisfied with just good enough. He wants it to be perfect, the best. He experiments, he fails, he tries again. His commitment to his craft, his relentless pursuit of perfection, that's his labor of love. It's not about the accolades or the money. It's about the joy of creating something that delights the senses, that brings people together. We could keep going, traversing through different professions and passions. Be it an artist lost in the rhythm of his brush strokes, a musician serenading the silence with his melodies, a scientist burning the midnight oil in pursuit of a breakthrough, or a gardener patiently tending to her plants. Each one of them, driven by their passion, their love for what they do, turning their labor into a labor of love. It's present in every act of dedication, every moment of perseverance, every instance of overcoming adversity. It's in the sweat and the struggle, the triumphs and the failures. It's in the joy of creating, the satisfaction of giving, the thrill of achieving. Labor of love isn't about the nature of your work or the field you're in, it's about the spirit with which you approach your work. It's about finding joy in the journey, not just the destination. It's about pouring your heart and soul into what you do, not because you have to, but because you want to. So remember, it's not about what you do, but how much love you pour into it. It's about transforming the ordinary into extraordinary, the mundane into magical, through the power of love and passion. That, my friends, is the true essence of a labor of love. So how can we turn our own work into a labor of love? As we delve into this question, it's crucial to recognize that the journey to transforming work into a labor of love is not a one-size-fits-all. It's a deeply personal process, and it begins with finding your passion. This is not always an easy task, and it may require some soul-searching, but it's worth the effort. Because when you're passionate about something, you're more likely to invest time, energy, and heart into it. It no longer feels like a mundane task, but rather a mission that you're excited to embark on. Once you've identified your passion, the next step is to infuse it into your work. How? By seeking opportunities within your work that align with your passion. It could be as simple as incorporating creativity into a mundane task, or as complex as steering your career towards a field that you're passionate about. When your work and passion align, it's a beautiful symphony of fulfillment and productivity. But let's be real, the road to turning work into a labor of love is not always smooth. It requires perseverance. There will be days when motivation wanes, obstacles loom large, and the end goal seems unattainable. But remember, it's during these challenging times that the true essence of a labor of love shines through. It's about pushing through, staying committed, and not giving up. Yet perseverance alone is not enough. It needs to be coupled with dedication. Dedication is about more than just working hard. It's about being committed to your work, taking ownership, and striving for excellence. It's about continuously learning, growing, and pushing boundaries. It's about pouring your heart and soul into your work day in and day out. And finally, a positive mindset is key. Embrace the challenges and setbacks as stepping stones towards growth. Celebrate the small victories along the way. Because every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to transforming your work into a labor of love. So, as we journey towards making our work a labor of love, let's remember to find our passion, persevere in the face of adversity, dedicate ourselves to our work, and maintain a positive mindset. Because it's these elements that transform not just our work, but also ourselves. Remember, it's not the work that makes it a labor of love, but the love that you invest in your work. So find your passion and let your work become your labor of love.